Now available in paperback and coming to Kindle Unlimited. John Haynes, Dark Succubus. The man who rules the world is tempted by a sultry succubus in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, Dark Succubus in paperback or pre-order on Kindle Unlimited today. A Canadian man is accused of murdering his entire family, all because he didn't want them to know he wasn't going to college for the last 3 years and was hiding in a mall for 4 days a week. And when I take a critical examination of Menhaz Zaman, the man alleged to have murdered his entire family because he did not want to have them know about his not going to college, I see yet another textbook beta male like I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And when I take this critical examination of Menhaz Zaman, I see all of the traits of your beta male as related to the smooth world. Now, most of your beta males want to live in this smooth world where they have no conflicts, no problems, and no obstacles, and they always want to go out of their way to please all of the people around them. And because these men are afraid of conflict, they usually will go out of their way to suppress their feelings about things, and they oftentimes refuse to say no to people. Now, your Menhaz Zaman, as I see it, he didn't want to upset the people in his family by saying that he didn't want to go to college. So what he did was a typical trait of many beta males, which is lie, deny, and then hide the evidence. So what he did was lie about going to college, deny to himself about his real feelings about school, and then he tried to hide the evidence by going to hang out at the mall while telling his parents lies about him going to school. And this guilt got to him, I believe, over the last 3 years, as his parents were probably anticipating him getting ready to graduate, and he was probably scared that people would soon find out the truth about what he had been doing for the last 3 years, and this is what led to him going out to murder his family, because he feared that if his family found out the truth about him, then they would get angry. And this is another typical trait of beta males. They fear having to deal with conflict, so what they do is they escalate their behavior in an effort to try to hide the evidence, and they believe if they kill people, they can hide the evidence of the thing that they did wrong. So what this man wanted to do was he did not want his smooth world disrupted, so he thought the only way to keep his world from being disrupted was by murdering his family. However, the guilt got to him, and he told people who he was playing video games with that he slaughtered his family because he didn't want them to know he was a pathetic subhuman. And the irony is, he became a pathetic subhuman when he participated in those murders, and he would have actually been a respected human being had he had the courage in the first year after he finished high school to confront his family and let them know what his plans were. But most beta males fear upsetting the apple cart of their homes, they fear upsetting their smooth world, and they fear upsetting their family, so they will go along to get along, and what they will do, again, is suppress their feelings about things. And when they're suppressing their feelings about things, what that does is it packs down their emotions in like TNT, and then eventually these men simmer, boil, and then they explode in these rages, and then they go out here to participate in this spectrum of violent behaviors, and this beta male participated in violent behavior because he did not want to confront the truth about himself, that he did not want to go to college, and he did not have the courage to let his parents know that. So he tried to sweep it under the rug, and when he couldn't sweep it up under the rug any further, what he wanted to do was murder his family so that they wouldn't know the truth about him. But again, the irony is that we see what a pathetic subhuman he is, because he was too much of a coward to actually confront his family and tell the truth about himself. And again, ironically, we now see the truth about this man, that he is a murderer, and he is just so depraved that instead of him admitting he didn't want to go to school, that he would go out here and murder his entire family instead of dealing with being a man and standing up like a man. He decided to murder his family, and did this because he did not want to go out here and be a man. Because this is what beta males try to do, because they want their smooth world. And this man didn't want to deal with having the shame of being a son like him because he felt guilty. He did not want, the thing was he was ashamed of, was he was ashamed that people would see the truth about him. And the truth was, this was a beta male who was not prepared for manhood. He was not prepared to be a man, and he was not prepared to take the responsibility of a man. And what he did was he wanted to hide from that responsibility, and then when he was finally about to be held to account, he then wanted to go out here and murder his family so he wouldn't have to deal with the conflict as related to his family. Unfortunately, he is now going to be dealing with the criminal justice system, and he will probably wind up in prison for the rest of his life. But when I look at his behavior, again, I see the textbook behavior of a beta male who just is too cowardly to go out here and face conflict. Again, any man who out here, if he's going to go out here, he's going to go up front and say, look, I'm not going to school, I'm not going to lead you on, I'm not going to do this. What I'm going to do is say, I'm not going to school, and I'm just going to go get a job. And that's what a man is going to do, and he's going to stick by that decision. He's going to stand by that decision because he's going to say that this is the right thing for him. And that's what men do as related to things, because men are good at confronting conflict and dealing with conflict. But beta males, they're not very good at dealing with conflict. They're not good at resolving conflict. They're not good at problem solving. And they would rather lie, deny, and hide rather than acknowledge a problem and work towards a solution, because they are truly afraid of moving forward. And I believe that this man was afraid of moving forward into manhood, and that's why he spent 4 days a week wandering around a mall, because he was too scared to be a man and take on man-sized responsibility. So he decided to go out here and try to prolong his childhood a little bit longer and remain in a state of arrested development. Unfortunately, he's going to have to learn man-sized solutions sooner rather than later, because once he winds up in the criminal justice system, he's going to have to learn how to work like a man and be a man, because in the prison system, there is no room for males who are stuck in a state of arrested development. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to learn more about what makes troubled men like this beta male go out and participate in horrific crimes like this, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com, in paperback, Kindle, Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.